Educreations iPad app introduction, getting to know the tools. After practicing the skills demonstrated in this tutorial, you will be familiar with the Educreations iPad app tools and know how to access sample Educreations lessons. This tutorial assumes that you have installed the Educreations app on your iPad. If you have not already done so, please stop the video and install Educreations before continuing on. It is suggested that you watch this video on a computer while practicing the skills demonstrated in the Educreations app on your iPad. You can pause and rewatch any portion of the video at any time as needed. Educreations is an app which teachers can use to record tutorials, lessons, or reviews for their students. Students can use Educreations to show their understanding of a concept. Educreations is currently available for the iPad and is accessible via a website at educreations.com. In this video, we're going to take a little tour of the Educreations app and familiarize ourselves with how to use the tools within Educreations. First, you'll want to launch the Educreations app. And if this is the first time you've launched it, you'll get this little welcome to Educreations, kind of a quick walkthrough. And you can actually arrow through that at your leisure and take a look at some of the basic controls. I love this picture because it shows how to move, resize, and rotate images that you use. You can tap Done to get out of that little tutorial, but if you ever want to visit it again, you just tap the little gear in the bottom right corner of the Educreations screen and tap View Intro to Educreations, and it's back. Okay, so first, I want to make sure we're on My Lessons, and then we're going to tap New Lesson. Now, Educreations has some pretty simple control menus. The first one I want to point out to you is at the bottom of the screen toward the left-hand corner. There's a little piece of paper with its corner bent back. If you tap that, you'll see that the default is white paper in the background, but you can use lined paper or graph paper or even a coordinate grid. So for demonstrating the tools right now, I'm going to use white paper. Looking at the tools on the top toolbar, the first button you'll notice on the far left corner is Done, and that's the last thing you'll use. So moving to the right of Done, we have 4 colorful squares. Those are ink colors. So right now my purple ink is active because it has a white square around it. So if I just start writing, I'm going to be writing in purple. And if I want another color, I simply tap it. The white square around it tells me it is active, and so now I'm going to be writing in red. Now, you're not limited to the 4 colors that are up there. For example, if I don't want to use orange, I tap on it first, then I tap the little arrow in the bottom right corner, and I could change that orange to blue. And it's still active, so now I can write with blue. The next tool over is the text tool, the capital T. If I tap on that, I then get a message that says tap anywhere to add text. So I'm going to tap, and I have a place where I can add text now. With the keyboard still displaying, and with that text box still active, I can change the color of the text by tapping the color rectangle at the left top of the keyboard. I can change the size of the text by tapping the T minus or the T plus. I can move back into the text if I need to add something by using the back arrow right there. And then I can tap Done when I'm finished typing. Now you'll notice the blue hand to the left of the T in my toolbar is now active. It wasn't blue before. That is the selection tool. So now I can tap on my text box and I can use my finger to move it around. Notice it goes behind the ink on the page. And I don't think there's any way to make it go in front of that, so that's something to keep in mind. If I tap on the text and get the blue box around it, then at the bottom I have some options. I can tap the T in the bottom menu to edit it again. I can lock the text and that keeps it in one spot. It has a little padlock on it now so I can tell. And I can actually duplicate the text. If I tap on it, now I have the same text in a different spot. One of the arrows you'll get real familiar with is the undo arrow. It lets you back up one step at a time everything you just did, including movements and ink. So as I tap all of that, I've backed out one step at a time to where I have a clean screen again. I can redo all those things as well by tapping the redo arrow. The quicker way to get rid of things is to use the X, and when I tap on it, I can clear the page or clear the ink. If I clear ink, I'm just getting rid of any of the ink I drew. But if I tap clear page, I've completely erased everything on the page. Now, right now, I can still undo and get back to those things, or I can just clear the page again. One of the tools we haven't looked at yet is to bring in a picture. So that's the picture tool to the right of the T. I'm going to tap on it, and I have some options here. I could actually take a picture with my camera. I can go to my Photos app and get pictures that are already saved in my photos. I can go to the web and actually search the web from in here. And if I happen to have a Dropbox account, which is something that you would have to have personally, you could get pictures from there as well. I would suggest having your pictures in your Photos app to save time when you are going to record a lesson. I'm going to tap on Photos and my camera roll, and I'm going to bring in these cute little puppies just for fun. And notice when you've brought in a picture, the blue hand, the selection tool, is now active, and I can take my finger and move the picture wherever I want it on the screen. If I tap the picture, I get some more tools at the bottom. So I can rotate it 90 degrees. I can say fit height, and it will fit the picture to the height of my screen. If I tap fit width, it fits it to the width of my screen. I can undo those two things with my toolbar at the top if I decide not to do that anymore. I can also move the picture where I want it and then press lock so that I don't accidentally move it again. And I can duplicate the picture. So if I tap duplicate, I now have a second copy of it, and this one's movable. The other one is not because it's locked. If I have the picture tools active, I can also delete a picture. You can annotate on top of a picture. So if I tap my green ink, then I can circle this yawning puppy here. I'm going to get my selection tool again and tap the picture and unlock it so I can move it. And I want to show you that when you move a picture, the ink, if you've annotated on it, the ink does not move with it. So that's something important to remember. Also remember, if I've marked this picture up, and let me put some other stuff on it, just crazy little stuff, I can come over here to the X and I can clear ink just to get rid of the ink on my page, and then my picture is clean again if I need to do some more annotating or if I just want to clean it up. So those are the most basic tools of Educreations. Before viewing the next videos on creating a couple of lessons, you might want to just play with the tools a little bit. There are a couple of tools I didn't show you that I will show you in lesson creation videos because they make a little more sense there. To get out of this, once you're happy with playing with the tools, tap Done, and right now it says you must first record before you can save your lesson. We're not going to save this one. We were just learning the tools. So I'm going to say yes to the question, am I sure? And that will take me back to my lessons page. While we're here really quickly, I want to show you that at the bottom of this page I can tap Featured, and this takes me to lessons that other folks have recorded. These are actually coming from the internet. You can look through them. You could even tap on subject area in the top left and pick something that goes with what you teach. So if you are a language arts teacher, you can tap that and then look for these sample lessons that others have done. And if you want to view one of the lessons, you can simply tap on it. So if I tap this character development lesson, then it will load and play. So that might give you some ideas for ways to use the app in the future. I'm going to X out of this for now though, because I really don't want to watch it. And to get back to my lessons, I just tap My Lessons in the bottom left. Okay, that's our tour of the Educreations app, and in our next video I'll give you a demonstration of how to set up and record a lesson. This concludes our tutorial on getting to know the tools in the Educreations app. Additional videos will demonstrate how to record and save a lesson using Educreations. If you are viewing this video as part of iPad Basic Training, please consult the instructions posted in the online materials for directions on how to proceed with your training.